Boom, 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 Chanka. How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with a little post-match reaction for you. Hopefully I'm coming through okay, because I just had to change some settings. If you didn't know, I was doing the watch-along for the Full-Time Devils YouTube channel. So I'm on here a couple of minutes later than I usually would be. And obviously for anybody that was expecting a live stream on my channel tonight, apologies, it was over on Full-Time Devils. But listen, let's talk about the game tonight, okay? United have just beaten a bunch of Kazakhstani farmers 1-0 at Old Trafford. And the 17-year-old Greenwood is the man who we've had to call upon to get the goal. Let's be real, it's a bloody useless performance by United, okay? I don't want to sugarcoat it. We got the bloody win. That's the most important thing, of course. Get the win. But we're playing FC Astana. They have never played an English side in a competitive game before. So it goes to show you the strength of the Kazakhstani league. And unfortunately, United just couldn't really create all that much. Let's get into the performance overall of the team. I mean, there were some positives in there. There were some negatives in there. We just couldn't cap off a lot of the opportunities that we created in the first half an hour of the game. You know, the first half an hour was good for United. We did create a lot of things. Rashford's movement was brilliant at times. We got Rashford clean through on goal in dangerous positions a couple of times. The ball's fallen to Marcus Rashford in key dangerous positions a couple of times. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to stick the ball in the back of the net. He's going to have to seriously work on this finishing clinical ability if he's going to be a striker for United, because from what we've seen from him lately, he is lacking in that department of just being able to stick the ball in the back of the net. Everything else is good. His vision's good. His passing's good. His movement's great today, it was, I thought, at times. You know, he's in the right place at the right time a lot of the time. But at the same time, he cannot put the ball in the back of the net, so that's a big worry. Marcus Rashford today probably will be feeling a little bit negative coming out of this game. Also, want to apologise that I haven't got my usual setup on the go here and it's looking a bit faded and a little bit blendy. I just haven't wanted to get on here for 10 o'clock as I said I would be. So that's why it's looking a little bit ropey at the moment. But there you go. It's just for this one video. The rest of the team, man, I mean, let's get into the individual performances. Then I will dive in and check out all your comments. Thanks to everybody who's waiting here, by the way. And for anybody that came over from Full-Time Devils also, thank you very much for stopping by on Flying Pig United. You're a bunch of legends. Get in the comment section. I'll read a bunch of your comments out. I can see Dazza11, The Music Fiend, Thines, PTS Snack Pack, JP, The Saint. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in right now on the live stream for this post-match show. Right, let's analyse the overall team performance. It was okay. The tactics were clear. We would get at them, and when we outpossessed them, we dominated them in terms of possession, 78% going in at half-time, something like that. That wasn't the problem. Even creating wasn't really the problem. We had Angel Gomez taking all the corners. We had corners galore. Gomez's corner delivery was brilliant throughout that game, and his general all-round performance was good as well. We could have easily had a couple of goals going in at half-time, but we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Let me talk. I'll start at the back here. So Romero, you know, coming in there, Europa League keeper, as good as they come as a backup. Don't really need to say too much about his performance because he didn't really have that much to do, but he's kept a clean sheet. The back line, now this is an interesting one because there are some injury problems at the moment. The selection, let me just start off by saying the selection today by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was so bloody positive. Giving the youth players a chance, it was only that Matic, Frankenstein who's basically made his way in there out of the underperforming older lot at the moment. Fred was given an opportunity, great to see. You had Rashford up top there with Greenwood and Gomez and Chong in behind. I mean, that's brilliant. That's a wet dream for United fans right now to see those guys out there. Everybody who we've been calling on for so long. We want to see these young talents come in and progress. Well, he gave them a game tonight in the Europa League, and I think that's what we all thought would be the case for the Europa League, is that it will be a blooder. He'll blood the youth. He'll blood the youth in the Europa League this season and give the opportunities to them there. And a couple of them took those opportunities fantastically well. Let me talk about the back line first, and then we'll just go up the team, actually. But Diogo Dalot's come in there, young lad on the right, really impressed me throughout, getting forward, whipping balls in, taking defenders on. Yes, we're only playing Kazakhstani farmers, Borat FC, very nice, or whatever. It was great success, we beat Astana 1-0, but anyway, just ignore that. I thought Dalot's put in a good shift. throughout the game. Really good going forward, getting balls and that sort of thing. Defensively, Phil No Bones Jones come in, and a couple of occasions he's almost shown why he does indeed have no bones. He was jalopying all over the place at one point, this lad. He was like one of those things you get at car showrooms. You know, those, what are they called? Those wiggly men that... Those wiggly windsock people. He was like one of those at times, flapping around with a couple of situations tonight. And unfortunately, he almost cost us. But, you know, it was okay. It was okay, other than the couple of errors that he made. Phil Jones, not played for a long time. That's what you have to say. Twanzebe, very positive performance from Twanzebe. Axel Twanzebe coming in there. And just slotting right in there. Looks very good, very comfortable, bringing it out from the back. Getting United's wingers away, we're passing it out from the back, stuff like that. Just a good performance from Twanzebe, barely putting a foot wrong, this young lad. And in terms of errors and solidity, from the last 5 games I've seen from Twanzebe compared to the last 5 of Lindelof, who've just been given a new contract, I think Twanzebe looks better. But that's just my opinion, of course. Obviously, these are Kazakhstani farmers that we're playing here. I'll say it again. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. These Kazakhstani farmers, they turned up at Old Trafford like it was the World Cup final. They had their pitchforks in hand. They were prepared to offer you up their third best sister in an exchange for some sort of a positive result at Old Trafford tonight. They didn't get that in the end, but fair play to Astana, man. They bossed it, they bullied it. Their keeper, Eric, in between the sticks, he was almost possessed by the ghost of King Eric Cantona tonight, because he did put in a really good performance in between the sticks for Astana and stopped us scoring numerous times. So he put in a really good performance, I thought. Let's look at the midfield. So we've done the defence. The midfield, Matic, Frankenstein. Didn't really see much of him. He's 6'5", looks like an actual Frankenstein's monster. How the hell are we not seeing him out there on the pitch? Granted, I was watching it on a phone, but this man's a big unit, and you barely see anything of him. That's either a really good thing or it's a really terrible thing. Didn't set the world alight tonight. Let's be honest now. I mean, okay, we fact is, we dominated possession. The midfield ticked things over, but we didn't really set the world alight. Fred had a couple of really good chances, really good shot early on, right at the start of the game, which rattled the crossbar. And I absolutely loved to see Fred starting this game. And I actually saw a lot from Fred tonight. He also had a free kick on goal, which was actually on target. Take a note of that, Marcus Rashford, eh? And maybe get one on target. And the longer the game went on, it was more likely somebody else was going to take the free kicks, because Rashford had a bunch of free kicks. He's had a bunch of free kicks for United recently. They're all an attempt at Cristiano Ronaldo's knuckle puck free kick with a chicken dipper with power. But he's not pulling it off at the moment. I'm sorry, Rashford is just not clinical, man. He's not doing it with the set pieces. He's not doing it with the chances that he got. And some opportunities fell to him today. They were gilt-edged chances. And he still couldn't put them away. He still knocked them straight at the keeper. So a bit worrying for Marcus Rashford. I think his best position is out wide. I didn't say that a couple of years ago because he looked like a natural goal scorer. But over the years, I think his vision and execution of passing tonight was great. It almost makes a lot of sense to play him out wide and maybe have Greenwood up top there, who did get that goal. Let's talk about the young players. We'll get on to Rashford a bit more in a moment, but let's get on to the young players who played in behind Rashford. This was such a positive thing to see from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's been talking about it for a while. He hasn't given the youth much opportunities up to this point, but today he went whole hog and he had a freaking heyday out there. They went nutty and he chose all the young players. You had Chong playing on the left. You had Angel Gomez playing as well. And you also had, or they were interchanging on the left-hand side. You also had Greenwood playing on the right as well. So that is such a youthful looking setup you've got up there. Rashford's the most senior attacker up there at 21 years of age with the other lads behind him. It was very, very exciting selection to see. In terms of how it actually performed out there on the pitch though, I must say that okay, it would have probably been made a lot better if Marcus Rashford could have just stuck some of those chances in the back of the net that he didn't. But I just thought we were lacking a little bit in those departments at times. Gomez probably performed the best out of those 3 players to me. Chong was a little bit hit and miss at times, but still bags of energy, useful, but not the most inspiring performances by Tahith Chong. Angel Gomez, though, great. Like I say, his corner delivery, he should just be playing games for us and taking corners. That's how good his corner delivery was. We've lacked that a little bit. I know it's only corners. People say anybody can take a corner at the pro level. Well, tell some of our other players that, because he can actually take a corner. I thought he was influential in some of the opportunities created tonight. The interplay with the likes of Rashford, the likes of Chong was very, very good from Angel Gomez. So I'm very happy with what I've seen from Angel Gomez. And then to talk about Greenwood as well, he's obviously got the goal. Fantastic finish from the lad. Great bit of skill as well. He cuts back inside. He cuts back outside. He does the defender and says, thank you very much. He does the defender and he sticks it in the back of the net, lads and lasses. It was a great finish from him. Okay, it's between the keeper's legs on that occasion. Beaten sort of at the near post as well. He should have done better, the keeper. After a really good performance, he should have done a lot better. But he didn't. With super chat here from Alex, who says, "Jak smash!" By the way, Kazakhstani people absolutely hate Sacha Baron Cohen, don't they? Because it's not an actual representation of how Kazakhstan is. So Kazakhstani people are nothing like Borat Sagdiyev, I must say. Although I did hear he's third best striker in all of Kazakhstan. Thank you very much for your super chat there, Alex Rudd, and everyone else. Get your comments and thoughts in as we go along. So, is that everybody I've talked about in the game? Yeah, I mean, man of the match, my man of the match performance, I'd have to give it to Marcus Rojo. Bit crazy, but we've not seen a lot from him recently. He got subbed off. He was blowing a bit towards the end, just lacking that match fitness. But what we saw from him was brilliant in terms of getting down that left-hand side, in terms of whipping lovely balls in terms of playing great balls from deep over the top and things like that. I thought Rojo was influential today. Great display of passing from him. And, you know, he's out of favour at United. But what I would say is he's come in there and he's had a bit of a fight today. He's shown some fight in him. And I really like that. I loved the performance that he put in. I think he was one of the shining lights in the team today. And when you factor in that he's not in favour with Ollie, he's not in favour with the fan base, really. A lot of fans were saying we should get rid of him. He's shown a little bit of fight. And credit where credit's due. He's come in there and put in a really top performance today. Against, admittedly, an average side. But there's still 11 or 10 other United players out there that could have cut them open, and we just didn't enough. Rojo, on the other hand, put in a really, really good performance, and credit where credit's due. He'll get my man of the match performance for that, because I thought he was very influential in a lot of the stuff that we did. And on another day, some of the passes that he made, some of the key passes in key areas, would have led to a goal if Rashford or somebody else could have just stuck it in the back of the net. So I'm not going to criticise him. I thought he was the man of the match. Brilliant stuff from him. Just like Ashley Young in the last game, you know. We don't really like seeing Ashley Young as United fans because we know he's bang average. But in the last game against Leicester, he was good. You've got to give credit where credit's due. So there we go. That's my rundown of the game. We couldn't really dominate a team of Kazakhstani farmers at Old Trafford who were coming there playing like it's their World Cup, sitting back defending. We didn't have enough to create. I mean, first half an hour of the game, we created enough to win the game 5-0. The second half performance, though, was very lacking, especially the first sort of 20 minutes. It's like we almost got undone by Astana at one point. FC Astana, fair play to them. They come to Old Trafford and played their socks off. Right, lads and lasses, let's get in the comments section. I'm going to stick around for about 10 minutes or so. Just keep it a short one tonight. I feel like I've been talking for absolutely ages today. Mostly because I have. But if you did happen to join in on the watch along on Full Time Devils, thanks very much. If you've not seen it, go over there after this video as well and chuck a like on my watch along. Chuck a nice comment on the watch along. You never know what it might lead to. So if you want to support the pig and support the Flying Pig United channel, please do that. I'm just buzzing and over the moon that they actually think my match commentary is decent enough to go on a channel like that. So thank you very much for having me anyway, and everybody who was over there. Thanks so much for getting in there. Griffo Chaz, he comments, best commentary out there. Griffo, you absolute hero. Thank you very much. I want to give you a shout out as well, Griffo Chaz. Saw your first episode. It reminded me very much of me and Henry Hotspur starting up back in the day. So keep at it, mate. He did an episode of Football Show. It's called the Delayed Football YT channel. Check it out, because he does a show on Fridays, I believe, about 5 o'clock. So there you go. Just a shout out to you, Griffo Chaz. Thank you for your comment. JP, Andres Rocco, Lewis Hancock, thank you very much for getting in here. I'll read your comments now. Lewis comments, Rashford needs benching. I agree. I think Greenwood up there would actually be... I'd like to see Greenwood playing the secondary role to Martial. Like, if Martial's injured, I think we've seen enough from Martial to say that he's probably our best player in the number 9 role, if you like. And what we'll see is, hopefully, Rashford played out in a wider position. I think he's more useful there. His pace is very dangerous. His trickery, he can beat a man. He can have a pot from distance. He's good. He doesn't quite have the clinical finishing. We saw that again tonight. Other than the Chelsea game, he's missed sitters galore for us, really. Okay, he scored a penalty the other day against Leicester. But other than that, he's not really been in the best goal scorer in vain. And he just needs too many chances to convert and stick the ball in the back of the net. So, yeah, I mean, I think maybe it wouldn't hurt to have him benched even if Martial's not fit, because Greenwood's come on. 17-year-old Greenwood has started the game today, and although it wasn't a sparkling performance all round, he did it when it mattered. He tried to have 2 really positive, great shots from distance, which were close earlier on in the game, and then finally a chance has fallen to him, but he's still got to take that chance. And he absolutely twists the defender's blood. The FC Astana defender is still crying about that one because Greenwood, 17 years of age, made him look a right mug. He just turned inside, turned outside, and stuck it through the keeper's leg. It was a great finish from the lad, similar actually to the one, if you saw it, that he scored in pre-season against Spurs, I think it was, when he came on. So look, Greenwood means business. He's got finishing ability. Let him up. That was a poacher's goal, that one. It's like if the ball drops to Mason Greenwood like it did to Rashford a few times tonight, he probably puts one of those in. That's what I think anyway. I just think Rashford's clinicalness in front of goal was missing tonight. JP comments, was there a diss track for Astana? No, there wasn't. And do you know what? I'm hoping I can get one on for the West Ham game, but I've had a bit of a hectic week just looking for jobs and things like this. So I've had a bit of a hectic week this week. I haven't quite had the time to do one, but look, I will try and get one out before the game. I think it's on Sunday, the game this weekend, so hopefully I have a little bit of time to be able to do one before then. It might be shite though, but there'd definitely be one for the game after that anyway. But no, Astana, Europa League, I'm not going to be doing any diss tracks for any random teams like this. It's just Premier League games that I do them for anyway, and that's only an if you guys actually want me to do it, because I know they don't get the most views. A lot of comments, people do comment, they do seem to like them. If you guys want me to keep doing them, then let me know by sharing them and liking them and all that sort of stuff, and I will keep doing them. So thank you very much for everybody who does do that sort of thing on the channel. You're a bunch of legends, and for tuning in live late right now on a Thursday night for bloody Mickey Mouse Europa League chat. That's what it's come to. The Europa League chat. I mean, who wants to be in the Europa League, lads? And lasses. I keep forgetting the ladies tonight. I'm sorry, you're very special to me. So that's the problem. You know, we couldn't break down Astana at stages of that game. During that second half, they looked comfortable at times. I mean, look, we dominated them really throughout the 90. But there was a 20-minute spell before we got that breakthrough goal from Greenwood. I was sort of thinking, shit, this is going to be an FC Michelin jobby, or this is going to be a 0-0 at Old Trafford. And to be fair, 1-0 against Astana at Old Trafford at any time with any players that United have got in our club is a piss poor result, lads and lasses. We've got the win, but it was not a very good performance overall. There were some good positives in there. Gomez, Dallo, you know, Twanzebe and Rojo and Greenwood's got the goal. But look, it wasn't a shining game. It wasn't a great performance. We've just got the job done against some Kazakhstani pitchfork wielders. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not a shining performance from United. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'll stick around for a few more minutes. We can have we can be treated to a cheeky little super chat comment here from Gungshi. Thank you very much for getting in. He says, Pig, you don't need a job. You will be a YouTube sensation. Well, thank you very much, Gungshi. I mean, if you keep sending these super chats in, you're supplementing my living at the moment, mate. So thank you very much for getting in there. Yes, anybody who doesn't know, I recently did lose my job. So for various reasons I won't get into right now. Nothing the Pig's done wrong. That's all I can say. But anyway, didn't work out, so I am in between things at the moment. So yes, I mean, we'll give it a crack on YouTube, but if the last 5 or 6 years is anything to go by, it's probably not enough for me to really live on. But I am trying my best, Gungshi. Thank you very much, and everybody who does watch this channel and support and, you know, follow the Patreon page and all that sort of stuff as well. Thanks so much to everybody who does that sort of thing, because it does help me do more videos and does help me do this stuff. So thank you very much, Gungshi, for getting in there, man, with your super chat and your support on there. You're obviously one of the biggest benefactors of this channel, I'd say. You must be a seriously fat cat over there in Taiwan, that's what I'm saying. He said, just woke up at 5 a.m. and realised I missed your watch along. Well, fair play to you, the commitment for you to get up anyway at this time. Did you just sleep through your alarm? Is that the case? But yeah, you are always usually in there when the games are on. That's what I like to see from you, Gungshi. It's commitment. He lives in Taiwan. It's a crazy time of the night when United are playing a lot of the time, but he still gets in there. Thank you very much. Devil of a Red, how are you doing, my friend? Comments, I thought Rojo put in a shift tonight. He was up and down that flank. Absolutely. When he was eventually taken off, he was blowing his lungs up because he really did put in a shift. And he's just lacking that match fitness and that match sharpness a wee bit, you could say. So that's a big factor. But his all-round performance was very positive. He led by example. He led with experience out there on the young side. Tried to make things happen from the back. Did make things happen from the back. Great overlapping as well down that left-hand side. Great final product from him. Defensively sound. Can't give him a glowing enough performance. Other than, you know, it was against Astana and we weren't coming up against the best team, but he's still, from an individual point of view, put in a really, really good performance. Skunky Monkey 13 comments, my ears bleed when I hear Astana looked comfortable at Old Trafford. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they look comfortable. I just said there was a 20-minute spell in the second half where United couldn't create for whatever reason. And Astana had a couple of chances and they just started to maybe get that belief. Because the longer that game went on, the more likely it was for Astana to get the upset. You could see them growing to the occasion. And if not for a 17-year-old making the difference after the goalkeeper's put in a great display and let it go through his legs, it would have been a 0-0. So let's not sugarcoat this performance too much and say anything other than it was a poor performance by United. It was. Look, okay, you can say we didn't cap off the chances that we created, and we did create enough chances to win that game comfortably. But the fact is Rashford didn't cap off those chances. So that has to be looked at and debated. Patrick Quinn, how you doing, Patrick? Comments, Yo Pig got the win. Not much to say about the game. Just stay away from those Illuminati mosquitoes. Oh, I hear you, buddy. Thank you very much for getting in here with your comment as well. Much appreciated, Patrick. Andres Rocco, how you doing? He comments, Pig, if you was United's football director, who would you buy in the CDM role? I mean, listen, it depends, doesn't it? It depends what you're saying here, whether it's a dream player move or somebody who's actually realistic to come in and play that role. Because, you know, CDM for us is an issue. McTominay's looked good recently. I don't think Matic is that great. Fred, you know, is he going to be good enough? Let's see. Garner, he's 18. He could have come on and played. We could have seen more from him, but we haven't. Who is it? I mean, there's talk about a couple of people. You know, Declan Rice, I've heard mentioned recently. I think he's a decent player. Doesn't really whet my appetite, to be perfectly honest with you, but I think he's a decent player. Kante would be my dream. If we could get Kante, I think that would be the best player we could get in that position currently. It's not going to happen, though, is it? Ever. So it's just unrealistic to talk about that. Gungshi, how you doing? Comments, Martial has got to be our main striker. Rashford just can't finish most of the time. Yes, Gungshi, I mean, I agree with you there. I mean, we've seen him miss sitter after sitter after sitter over the last few fixtures. And if it was Martial or even if it was Greenwood, I'd expect those guys to do better at putting the ball in the back of the net. So, look, I'm with you. I think if Martial's not fit, give it to Greenwood up top there. Let Rashford stay out wide still. Because Rashford's just lacking that cutting edge in front of goal. Maybe it's just at the moment. Hopefully it's not a continued thing. But at the moment, he's not looking like our best striker. If Romelu Lukaku was out there today, he'd have probably bagged a couple. Surely with the quality of the crosses that were coming in. And if the chances had fallen to him just like they did to Rashford. You know, I'm going to be a little bit critical of Marcus Rashford because, and he's still young, he's still learning, he's still improving, but he's got to just put the ball in the back of the net. It's all well and good doing 90% of the stuff right, getting in the right position, making the right run, good movement, good interplay. But your job as a striker is to stick it in the back of the net, and if you're not doing that, then maybe he should be moved out to a wider position. JP comments, who should be taking free kicks? It's a very good question, my friend. Listen, there's a lot of varying factors. We've seen Rashford's no bloody good at free kicks, okay? He does those Ronaldo knuckle puck attempts every time. He's not Ronaldo. Not yet, anyway. He's not getting them on target, even. So, he did that again today. It was very disappointing. Some key opportunities missed. We used to have Beckham. We used to have players, Rooney, who could just bang in free kicks for fun, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, at the moment, we've got Juan Mata. Juan Mata's a great free kick taker, but is he getting into the team regularly enough? When he's on the pitch, though, Juan Mata should take the free kicks, in my opinion. out of all the players at United, he impresses me the most taking set pieces. He converts more opportunities than most of them, I believe. Anyway, I don't actually have the statistics here for that, but it just seems like he scores and converts more of his free kick chances than any of our other players. So to me, he is our best free kick taker probably, but he's not going to be on the pitch a lot of the time. It's a toss-up, I guess, between Pogba, who we've also seen been a bit bang average at free kicks lately, and Rashford, and of course Fred had a shot on goal today from a free kick, which was actually on target, which was more than can be said for Rashford, so maybe he's in with a shout too. I don't know. Good question. Gunshi says, Martial isn't perfect, but he's cooler in front of goal. Totally agree. Absolutely agree. Good hold-up play from him recently we've seen as well. And he's a bit more clinical. He can slot it away a bit more. Ian T says, Rashford is not a predator in the box and can't head the ball. He's better out wide cutting in. 100% agree. Totally agree with your statement there, Ian. Fully agree with the fact that he's better out wide cutting in. You actually see him score and be effective from positions like that. When you see the ball fall to him in the 6-yard, it's almost like he's just got this little mental block, this little hesitancy. I don't know what it is, or a little bit of eagerness maybe, just to lash at it. He's not controlled. He's not as comfortable putting the ball away in those sorts of scenarios as he is when he cuts in from a wide position. So very astute comment there. Marco Wilson comments, Maddison. Yeah, James Maddison is a player I'd like to see United sign. He actually is, because he works very hard. He creates an awful lot for Leicester. He has done for a significant amount of time now in the Premier League. Young, homegrown, you know, that's the sort of player United are after right now. It's like we got Harry Maguire because whenever we're not in the market for players like Sergio Ramos or Rafael Varane or people like that, the big names. We're not in the market for that. We got Maguire because, yeah, he's a big, expensive name player, but he's coming from Leicester. Leicester are not as big a club as United. It's a step up for him, just like it would be a step up for Maddison. And these are players who seem to have the right mentality and are hungry to have something to prove. So I think he would be a great shout. Gungshi agrees with me about Mata. Thank you very much, mate. Ramez Razlan comments, Chong is a bum. Well, I mean, Chong's performance tonight was pretty average, to be fair. Out of the 3 that have played in behind Rashford, he's the one that's not done himself the best in terms of confidence, because he looked frustrated at times. His final product wasn't there. Gave the ball away a few times. He wasn't the best, but at the same time, it was lively. He's a young player. He's not had much first-team experience. So, look, he's going to have to come in there and show us what he can do. We've seen it before. So there you go. I just want to say as well, apologies there's no live chat on here for anybody that's just joining me on the live stream. Usually I have the live chat and I display the live chat and the team news going across the bottom and that sort of stuff. I was doing the watch along for Full-Time Devils and I somehow deleted my scene. So I didn't have time to set it up because I wanted to get on here for 10 o'clock. So normal service will be resumed. I know a lot of you like to get in the comments and see your name on the screen and that sort of stuff. So that'll be back next time around. Comment here from Mojo, okay, we should sign Timo Werner. Well, if you're talking about a goal scorer, somebody with pace for days who can get him behind, Timo Werner seems like a great shout. I've only seen a handful of games from him over in the German league, to be fair, but I mean, you're talking about a goal scorer there with pace for days. I think he had a great season last season. Yes, I would love to see something like Timo Werner come in. So great shout, Mojo K. Not many people mention Timo, you know. They definitely don't. Timo's a popular name at the moment. Timo Pukki doing it for Norwich. Timo Werner doing it for, is it who's he played for? Bloody Leverkusen, isn't it? Anyway, he's a good player, yeah. Mr. E caught the last 20, looked poor. Thank you for your comment there, Mr. E. Yeah, I mean, the second half was not good. Even though we got that goal, it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't clinical enough. It wasn't creative enough. We didn't get out. It wasn't quick enough. The tempo slowed right down for a large spell of that game. It was dreary as, lads. Look, if you want me to try and say it wasn't. It was a shite performance by United today. We're lucky to get the win in the end. It sounds crazy to say that coming up against FC Astana. The first competitive game against the England side ever. Against the English side. The first Kazakhstani team to play against the English side ever. And they very nearly get the 0-0 draw at Old Trafford. Fair play to them. It's a dream for them. They played great. Any Kazakhstan people in here watching right now, all credit to your side. Congratulations. You almost deserve to draw from that. Look, I know we had sitter after sitter missed by Rashford. And we did create enough in that first half to score 5 goals. But we didn't. And the longer that game went on, the longer it was likely that Astana might just get a draw. So fair play to them. JP comments, could Gomez surpass Raheem Sterling's progression within 2 to 3 seasons? Hard to envision, but could be possible. Listen, JP, he could. Gomez, from what we saw from him tonight, he did really well. And what I would say about Raheem Sterling is, even 3 seasons ago, he was pretty much a headless chicken. When he was playing at Liverpool, yeah, he could take a man on, he had pace for days and he was tricky, but his final product was seriously lacking. And if you go right back to when he was breaking on the scene as an 18-year-old, he was a complete headless chicken, lads and lasses. He was. Now look at him. Now look, with a bit of progression, a lot of time, great coaching perhaps along the way, Raheem Sterling's one of the best players in the league, if not the world. And it's crazy to say that, but it's true, because a few years ago, he was a headless chicken. When City signed him for 50-odd million, I thought they paid way too much for that sort of a headless chicken of a player. But he's proven everybody wrong. And Gomez, if he's getting 2 or 3 years of actual real good game time, getting blooded correctly, not too many, but certainly not too little, and playing enough games, then who's to say Gomez couldn't go on and be a potential Raheem Sterling? And what I'd say about Gomez, he's not just your headless chicken, get past a man and whip a ball in type player like Raheem was at that age. He's actually got more intelligence in terms of football, in terms of interplay, passing, that sort of thing. I think he's got great vision, Angel Gomez. He's one of the positives that came from the game tonight. Griffo Chaz says Leipzig, fair play, I got it wrong. Knew it's a team with an L. I don't really follow German football too much, but from what I've seen from Timo Werner, he is very, very good indeed. Gungshi says, at least Spurs didn't beat Olympiacos, so the hen can't gloat on Wednesday. Very true indeed. Although, decent result away from home, you'd have to say. Not a great result, but certainly an okay. They didn't lose the game anyway. Respect and love goes out to Olympiacos and the Greek fans, any Greek people watching this, and the team for getting the point and fighting back against Spurs. Come on, you beauties. Kadkar comments, Ollie at the wheel. Get in there. We haven't seen too many of that recently. Thank you very much for showing your love for Ollie. He got the job done, got the win. I guess that's the most important thing from United tonight. So at least we did one, even though the performance was shit. That's sort of how I feel on it tonight, lads. Right, I'm pretty much going to wrap this video up, but thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight and got in the comments section. The Music Fiend, Gungshi, the Rhythm Doctor. Just to recap, he says just to recap what happened in the game. United should have scored a hatful by half-time. Rashford spurning his opportunities. Their goalkeeper put in a great shift. They defended very well, to be fair, throughout, but United couldn't capitalise. It took a 17-year-old Greenwood in the second half after a very poor spell of football by United to finally get the breakthrough. So lacking in clinical nature from our forwards up there today, lacking in a bit of creativity as well in the centre of the park, obviously, because we would have created more and cut Astana open easier if we could have done. I know it's always hard coming up against 2 banks of 4 when the teams are committed to get the numbers behind the ball, but this is United with quality young players. We've got to cut them open better. That's how it is. So there we have it. I want to say a shout out to everybody who watched along on Full Time Devils YouTube channel tonight for my commentary. Thanks so much for stopping by on there and showing your love and getting involved with the chat. It means a lot to me. Thanks so much for getting in there, and go over there and comment on their posts saying how much you enjoyed the pig. Anyway, thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight as well. Do us a favour, smash a like on it. I'm just going to read out Kadkar's comment at the final here, because he said Fred was superb, and I thought Fred did actually do okay today. Fair play to him. Positive from Fred. Definitely want to see him start in the next game, actually. More so than Matic. What does Matic do? So yeah, good shout from you, buddy. The Rhythm Doctor, Griffo Chaz, Mfundo Butchingi. Great name, by the way. Thanks to everybody. Patrick Quinn, you're a bunch of legends. Thanks for stopping by on the post-match show tonight. Normal service with the graphics and everything will be resumed next time. Feel free to tweet me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, but definitely use Twitter more if you ever want to, send anything my way. So thanks. Please do that. To everybody who's tuned in, thanks for stopping by. Smash a cheeky like on this video. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you're new to the channel. If you're not familiar with the Flying Pig, or if you're new coming over from Full Time Devils, hit that subscribe button. I give you Manchester United content as frequently as I possibly can. There'll be some stuff coming out tomorrow on the channel, so please do keep an eye out for that. Also, I'm going to work on Fire in the Room as well. I thought the game was going to finish 4-0 tonight against Astana. I was totally wrong. Borat and his team of Band of Merry Melters have come over here, and they've not melted at all. They've rose to the occasion. They've put in a good display against United tonight. So fair play to Astana. They deserve a lot of the credit. We've got work to do. There's a lot of question marks been thrown up in the air from this game alone. Not answered. A few answered, but some questions actually have been raised from the performance today. So there we have it. Come back in a few minutes once this video has been published. Have your say in the comment section if I've not responded to you. Thanks to everybody who gets involved with these. Come back, have your say. I'll respond to them when I can, and you have yourselves a freaking bloody good one. But come on, United, sort it out. Can't barely beat a bunch of Kazakhstani farmers. Had to have Mason Greenwood pop up with a great bit of individual skill to get the winning goal. I mean, it's a shambles, really. It is a shambles. But a win's a win. We'll take it at this stage. Great to see, though, in all honesty, and just before I go, great to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer selecting the youth out there today. Other than Matic, who, again, put in an average performance, it was a really positive look to United's team. So more from that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I definitely think players like Dalot and players like Fred and players like Angel Gomez came out from this game, and Greenwood, of course, getting the goal, came out of this game with a bit more confidence and to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer something to think about for the upcoming games of football. You have yourselves a bloody good one. Stay classy. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Take it easy. I'll see you very, very soon. And come on, United.